As Hall just stated, this morning's homily is the work of Sheila Monks, a reflection as purely Sheila's as are her poetry and prose, both wonderfully confessional and rarely abrupt. And we will be treated to both in what follows. Sheila offers this. When I first read today's readings, I was surprised that as we are first feeling the beginnings of spring, we must read about death. Why, I wondered, why take us away from the first green shoots, the daffodil blossoms, the robin's egg song, and send us back to the dark nights, the cold rain, the fallen leaves? Many die in the readings this morning, the warriors who are quenched like a wick, those who go out weeping, carrying the seed, the writer of Philippians who wants to become like Christ in his death, and even Jesus who says, "You always have the poor with you, but you do not always have me." I am thinking that yes, we are constantly reminded of death as we go about our lives, the graying hair, the sudden storm, the burnt-out match. For some reason, I am especially aware of it. Perhaps it is my age, I don't know. I just know that it is with me a lot of the time. You probably know that I write some poetry. I thought I would pause occasionally in the sermon this morning and read one of my poems. Hopefully, they will be relevant. My husband died a long time ago. Some of you who are here now knew him, but there are fewer and fewer who remember him. What is amazing to me is that I still get visits from him. Most of you are going to dismiss this as nonsense, but some of you will know what I'm talking about. I listen to WCRB most of the time, and once in a while, they will play Arthur's favorite piece, Mozart's Jupiter Symphony. When that happens, he visits me. It's quite clear that he is in the room, and then when the symphony ends, he leaves. But what he doesn't tell me is what it's like on the other side. No one ever tells you. The visit. The first time you visited me, I was surprised that you had no wings, and for that matter, no white robe, although there was a fine gold line around you, as if someone had outlined you with a pen. You still had the old blue sweater on, the one you wore on Saturdays, the one I tried to throw out. I noticed the hole in the sleeve had been repaired. Do you ever wonder why we fear death so much? Perhaps it is sheer mystery. We live with it all the time, and yet what do we know about it? Visits from the dead, if they really do exist, are wonderful. But do they ever show us any pictures or answer any questions? Do any of us know exactly when we will die or under what circumstances? In spite of thousands of years of speculation, do we know anything about heaven, or hell for that matter? The pirate. He's quite an imposing presence, and dare I say it, a little swashbuckling. He's telling me about his latest trip, but instead of listening, I'm thinking, no eye patch, no wooden leg, but I could swear you just got off a pirate ship. Yes, it makes sense, a big voice, and just a touch of menace in the laughter. He's planning his next adventure, maybe a cruise this time. Too bad I happened to notice the pale parrot of death perched on his shoulder. It occurred to me that perhaps Jesus is trying to tell us to lighten up a little bit. He talks all the time about being with his Father in heaven, and he's clearly looking forward to it. We don't have to look forward to it, but perhaps we don't have to fear it quite so much either. Is Jesus trying to tell us that death and life are mixed up together so much that in a way we experience death all the time, the pale parrot on our shoulder? But we still need to go on planning for our next adventure. I like to think so. I like to think we get in our cars even though there are fatal accidents every day. I like to think we plant our gardens every spring even though the frost comes every fall and kills them. I like to think babies are conceived every day, even though we know war is inevitable, and some of them will have to fight and be killed. You always have the poor with you, but you do not always have me. This sounds like a clear call to begin to take charge ourselves and make a more meaningful life. Yes, feed the poor. Yes, enjoy ourselves more. Yes, start some of those projects we've been dreaming about. We will never avoid seeing the dark shadows and heartaches. Jesus had his cross, and we have ours. Maybe we can try to be more like this happy couple. They sometimes kiss. Although they usually sleep side by side under the grass, the night owl has seen them running together, especially when the moon is bright. Their feet don't touch the road, of course. It's said they sometimes kiss behind the gravestones. And with a little luck and perseverance, a little less like the woman in this one, the visitor. Oh, hello. I didn't expect you quite so soon. The house is a mess, and I haven't combed my hair, but would you like a cup of coffee? I'd love to come with you. I really would, but there are some things I want to do. Just let me finish this phone call, okay? My grandson will be here this afternoon to mow the lawn, and I haven't seen him in a while. What do you mean, I don't have time? There's plenty of time. I need to pay a couple of bills. You know how that is. I was going to pot the geranium and take it to my neighbor. And I never wrote those poems or painted those pictures. Could you come back tomorrow? Thank you, Sheila, for sharing your work and inviting it into our space this morning. Amen.